Hey guys, this is the third match of the Swiss round in the Elo Legends number 17. This is me against Vice Bro. It was on Altai. He's playing Delhi, and this was a very long match to say the least. It was almost a 4.5, and just a really long slugfest. So he's going Delhi. I'm gonna rush him with Cav. Drop my girl over on gold. Dropping on TC next to this food, just kind of nice. We do have a nice Uwu and gold position here. One tower should be able to defend both of those. And yeah, we're sending over a Khan to get some scouting on his guys. We mine 20 wood and put one of our villagers off to food. One villager by himself should have enough production to keep our horsemen going in this early stages. And we're making a horseman now. We have a couple sheeps. We see his berries have gotten their enclosures, the little fences. And we see his TC, see his stone, and we see he's got front gold. So this was a big plus for us. So we know he's got front gold, and we're going to be able to harass here. Horseman's coming over. Another horseman's coming over. And yeah, we got our eco's pretty stabilized here. We know if we can keep him off of this gold, that we'll be in a good spot. He does a really good job dealing with this aggression, keeping his cool and aging up. So do some damage. He pulls his villagers off. He's at 140 gold now. So you can see that we can slow him down here, and he's got a lot of villager idle time right now. We'll watch his income per minute kind of get affected here. We'll see this 266 drop off pretty hard here so shortly. And yeah, we're basically idling these 9 villagers. I'd say pretty well. But the plus side is every time he picks up one axe swing here for him, he's grabbing a lot of resources. You can tell his food income has dropped off quite a bit. And he must have spent gold. I don't know where he spent his gold. On a priest? He must have spent it on a scholar. And if I had been able to save these horsemen a little bit better, I shouldn't have committed as hard as I did with these horsemen. And I could have rotated these 4 on gold. I should have just done 2 on gold. I wanted to age up, I guess, really fast. But I definitely could have just done 2 on gold. And 2 more on wood. And an earlier tower on here would have been big. He would have had to commit to stopping my villagers from dropping this tower while he's getting hit by 3 horsemen. We do pick off 1 villager. And he used up his gold again. I'm not sure where he's using his gold. Is it in... Let's drop him barracks. Where does his gold go? I'm kind of confused. Because all of his upgrades are free. Oh, it's income per minute I'm looking at. Oh, wow. So, okay, yeah, he's got enough gold to age up. Wow, yeah, that's a really bad job. I was like confused. I was like, how does he not have any gold right now? He's trying to get his food up. We're not letting him get his food up here. He's got safe food here. I don't know why he's dealing with these berries and you know this micro. I mean, it does force me to pay attention and micro my guys out. Kind of crazy that range with that villager. But yeah, we definitely could have dropped a tower if we had macroed our resources a little bit better. We have enough for a tower a while ago now. Um, so it would have been good to have a tower and save these horsemen from dying. But he's got some really weak villagers right now. And I think we're coming up to build a tower eventually. There we go. Way late though. This tower could have gone up another minute or two earlier, and definitely would have helped make this match a little bit shorter than it was. Um, really long match, so we'll go through some parts, kind of like right now at normal speed, and then we'll speed up some other parts. We're tapping up as fast as we can. Um, his food's suffering a little bit. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say he's got a lot invested in villager production there. So now you can drop his age 2. He's got a horseman or spearman out, and now that he's got a spearman out, and I'm bringing over 3 villagers. Is too little, too late to be building this tower. So 2 minutes ago, 2.5 minutes ago, when I had no spearmen to deal with, this tower would have been huge, because my horsemen could come out, pop out, raid. When spearmen come and push them, they can just and just kind of bad micro. We cancel the tower, pull our villagers back. He's gonna fight this out. If he was fighting horsemen, he's definitely gonna fight villagers. So kind of messing up my resources and not getting that tower out in time. But it's okay. We're in H2 before him, dropping our archer and replacing our stable. We got a pretty decent sheep haul here. 6 more sheep. And we got this closed barrier, so our villagers were able to transition food pretty smoothly without falling behind. And now he's going heavy on gold. He's going 15 villagers on gold. Or 14 villagers on gold. Felt like he was a little bit behind, which he was. And he's only got 9 on food. So he's getting a ton of gold, which you need to age up. I guess he wants to secure the age up. He's afraid of me hitting him with some archers or something, probably, which is what I was gonna do. Mangadai are on the way. My Khan's dropping off his sheep, and he's heading out there. And since he's only got spearmen, we should be able to hold this position pretty handily, or push it, I guess. He does have 5 spearmen though. And yeah, he's trying to get enough for his castaways for sure. Cav forces coming out, more Mangadai. And we pushed him off of gold, and he almost had enough to age up with his gold. But only 60 gold, so it's not, he's got a mine back here. We're actually going to go check it right now with these horsemen to make sure he's not mining gold back there. I thought he would have transitioned. He's pumping out archers now. He is housed. See, he's not in the gold. So he's abandoning gold and just going wood food. And We're moving over to these deer. Finished our berry patch, so our food income has dropped off real hard. We have a really good wood income, and balancing out our gold a little bit as well. There's a lot of upgrades we want to get um, once we drop our blacksmith, and as well as economic upgrades that are gold heavy. You can push back our Mangadai with these 5 archers, and we have 3 horsemen, kind of looking for some weaknesses in the back of his base, but he's got a pretty consolidated eco right now. This is one spot I guess I could have wrapped around the side with my Mangadai, which is pretty easy to get trapped back here. Trying to split spearmen and archers can be pretty tough too. I also didn't have enough of a Manganite mass to properly deal with these guys. When the spearmen are separated, we're not doing a ton of damage. So he's kind of equalized the military now. The fast production with basically two ranges in one. Really helps with that. The Mangada probably would have been better to come around here and raid, but again, he had a range right here. He's got fast production, so it's a thing of killing a couple villagers and then having to fall back because you're getting hit by Archer. So we're just kind of holding as we can and falling back here. We do have to make sure we keep a decent size of army because we're not going to be able to contest this force he has. The big thing is our Mangadai numbers aren't enough to deal with quickly. Like, we can come up here and we're just doing, like this one we dropped down 20 health. We're basically one archer, the horseman and one archer traded, but it's not a really good trade. He starts building a wall, which was nice because his spearmen get occupied in this. We're able to pick a couple free archers. Yeah, and our Mangada are a little bit separated, and we're trying to get him in a pincer attack. He's building a full wall. We do try to get a decap. Yeah, it's just not going to work because army's present and we haven't been able to deal with it. We don't have enough mass to deal with it. See how long it takes for my Mangada to really work down one spearman. It's kind of unfortunate, so we're just going to have to fall back. And we're just going to rally Mangada here on this front line to kind of have a presence that he has to deal with. He doesn't just get to free push us. At this point, he's getting a lot of gold. He's going to be starting getting a lot of gold for the sacred site and this sacred site. And yeah, he's up to castle. And at this point, I was thinking about going castle, and now I have to 100% commit to going castle. We also did go to TC during this. We were storing up a lot of wood. I figured he was going so heavy on military production that he wasn't going to be going for a second TC, and him being in castle kind of confirmed that. He's just kind of doing a 1 TC move. We wrap around the side with her Mangada. It's, he's got a big army that we can deal with in the front. He's walling. So we sent a small force to decap this sacred site, and at the same time, we wanted to see if we could pick up a monk trying to go for this one. It looked like he was going to go for sacred site capture. He's walling in front of it, and do some damage to this eco line, his wood line, but I knew it was back here, and last I knew didn't have any towers. We have a decent mass here with 6 of them. We should be able to one-shot a lot of villagers. He's on the ball in terms of dealing with the pressure immediately. Immediately pull back his villagers and he starts building an outpost. Really smart move on his part. And he's gonna start mining gold or stone after this. He's getting a House of Learning. No wonder his lancers were doing us a lot of damage. They're getting a nice buff there. So he pulls his army back, all of it. Which is interesting. It's good and bad. It will force me to fall back, but it does take away any presence that he has in the front of map on my base. We're able to pick off one villager, a spearman, and I see he's starting to get knights out. We are able to take out the one priest, the Iman, which is decent, but the towers are kind of whittling us away, and we don't get a lot of value out of this raid. The most value that we actually get out of this raid is it gave us time to age up. So we've dropped step read out. We're collecting with these guys. Kind of a mistake by not moving this Gur. We still got double TC going. And we're rallying everybody onto food. Pastures are starting to drop out. 3 stables and 2 ranges. So our army is starting to mass up again. And caught out over here. Horsemen are just kind of running around. He's going to drop a wall over here, which is a smart move. I don't know about bringing a villager over to do it instead of using his army that he has here. We are over onto this food as well. There's deer next to us as well here. So this is a nice little food collection spot for a Gur. And in terms of food, there isn't much left. There's this deer, which is kind of on his side of the map. And we have this boar. And this boar that's on, well, it's wild. But we're starting to crank out knights, and we're going to start burning down this palisade gate. We making Mangadai again. 2 stables, cranking out knights, prayer tent, and blacksmith. In terms of eco, we're doing a pretty good job of using up all of our food and gold. We're not banking a lot of resources. Our wood right now is a little bit heavy. We raided with a couple of the horsemen that we had up here that decapped that one sacred site. Push him off of wood. He's got a lot of gold banked. So that's something that he could definitely be doing. He's also been Castle Age for a while, and he hasn't picked up his relics yet. But a mistake on his part. He pushes us forward here on this. We trade out with that one knight just because it was a little bit ahead of everyone else. And he's got archers and spearmen. So we're going to be able to do some damage to the spearmen with the Mangadai. We got an okay mass. We're starting to do a little bit more damage now that we got 4 of them. We start cranking out towers with our villagers. We're going to keep pulling the Mangadai back. And I have to actually... I really should garrison these villagers here and have these knights fall all the way around and back. These archers are going to start peeling away. So I'm kind of getting greedy here, not committing my villagers to these TCs. I'm losing, villagers, and they could be doing a lot of damage to these archers. So then these knights come in, get a bad situation because they're running into spears. And yeah, this is again something I should have done a while ago, which is garrison. I could have just garrisoned these villagers, and they could have been doing a ton of damage before. Priest is coming out. He's walling the sides of his base. He's getting stone walls up, which is really big. So they're going to equalize it. He has picked up 1 relic, so he's starting to pick up his relics. Going for a cap, and his army falls back here. We also have run out of food to harvest here. It's a lot of idle villagers. So we take them to build a couple of quick pastures. Each pasture is going to drop out a sheep. That's going to be an instant, basically 500 food that we can harvest. Kind of unfortunate that once it's built, these guys will just immediately go after the one that's closest. So we have some idle villagers here. It's like 2, 5, maybe 6 idle villagers there. He's starting to kind of build up his mass here, and he's going for the sacred side caps. Um, he's gonna wall this base, and he doesn't do anything with this one. So he also had a good opportunity to end this game early. He has the stone. He's got 560 stone. So if he had walled here, it would have been with stone walls. It would have been a much different game. But we're gonna hit this sacred site with a couple of manga die. The archers come up and they're gonna just basically get suicided against 3 knights. And we also send a knight over here to deal with this. And so he's able to kill this, and we're gonna decap this, and we're also decapping this time. We send the 2 Mangadai after him because they do a lot more damage than the Khan, and we're just leaving the Khan here at base. The couple horsemen we had chilling up top here, he still had a couple knights protecting. Tried to do a raid, did not work out. We do decap this site, and we decap this site. At this point, he's got 2 Tower War Elephants, 3 knights, 5 archers, 3 spearmen, a horseman. So he's got a decent army for sure. We've got a bunch of manga die here. We grabbed this relic that was up here. It would have been good if we grabbed this one that's up at the top. Um, but we're pulling our manga die back, and then we have a decent force of lancers. We're gonna start burning a hole through the wall up here, and he's gonna kind of all army up to us. We are building more knights, more manga die, a lot more manga die. And we finish out this gold. The archers are kind of peppering us here. We don't see that there's a stone wall going up, so we're just going to fall back our knights. We have a lot more in production. We're moving our set readout down to over here. We're going to build a couple of towers to protect the villagers. And double TC is still cranking out units. And this front wood line is almost gone. Behind this, he's really taking up a lot of control in this middle channel of the map. Let's check ecos though. I'm at 78 and he's at 53. So this is where we're kind of going to start scaling. We're outscaling him now because we have a bigger amount of eco. And he's dropping a keep up here, which is good on the sacred site. And now he starts pushing us. It's a pretty good army. 3 Tower War Elephants, 5 archers, 3 crossbowmen, 3 spears, 1 horse, 9 knights. Looks like a 10th is coming up, and 2 more archers. So we see his knights push us. And with this push, we just kind of... Luckily, we already had upgraded these outposts of ballistas. Or springolds, whatever. We're going to lose a couple villages here, unfortunately. And we're just going to garrison our troops. We have a bunch of Mangadai here, which is going to be good. We were sending troops up to go do raids, so we're going to pull back these like 12 or so knights. And we're just going to kite against these knights. And it's good that these knights are fighting our Mangadai and not worried about what's happening in the base. Power Elephants are really strong against ranged armor, or against ranged units. And what's really going to do a lot of damage against Tower War Elephants now is melee. So you can see they get shredded against these knights. So that's where we do a lot of damage. We take out these Tower War Elephants pretty quickly with the knights. I don't know why these guys pulled off of here. Kind of unfortunate. And so yeah, we're basically able to repel this without too much damage to our eco. We lose a few villagers here and there. You can see how quickly the knights just shred through those units, through the Tower War Elephants. And they're expensive units. See where a stable is at. Oh, whoops, yeah, they're archery range units. 400 food, 600 gold. So that was 1800 gold that just got queued up. That's enough for his imp at this point. He could definitely be imp without 2 elephants. which is pretty crazy if you think about it. So, in terms of relics, we end up with 2, and he ends up with 3. So he doesn't have a complete and total relic control. We got a decent amount of relics. We're going back to what we were doing before he raided us, and we're raiding him with these 7 knights. We're going to come up and around, and we find that he's got a stone wall and a wood wall. We do capture this. We're starting to run out here. We've rotated the villagers to here. We're up to 12 pastures, which is a decent amount. Got about half the amount of sheep that we can have, so a couple more pastures would actually be better. And yeah, we got a lot of villagers committed to wood right now at 21, and we're cranking out more villagers onto gold or onto food, and we're just kind of massing this cav army again. We figured if he's gonna push us, he's probably gonna push us again with offense, and it looks like we were kind of right about that. Let's have 1 spring old. And we're gonna lose this priest against this horseman. It's no biggie. It is unfortunate he does wall this side of the map. We don't stop it in time. Would have been good if he had been able to build a tower earlier, especially since he's going to build a market on this side. So this is definitely a move that I could have seen coming and done something about earlier by committing more army here instead of just passing on this side and not pushing it. But we are getting our blacksmith upgrades, and we are ready to age up now. I think that was kind of the big thing that I wanted to do. I did want to go up to Imp. And he is going up to Imp, I believe. We're just cranking out a ton of units. Oh, we sent a tower elephant over here. Send my Mangadai over here to kind of push this side. So he's walled this side now. And he hasn't started trading, but he's secured that side. And we have decided to up with the White Stupa. We're only building up with 7 villagers, so it's going to be kind of slow and steady. The big thing is I wanted to close to my Siege Workshop for the improved upgrades on Siege. And it felt like a kind of a long, grindy battle already at this point at half an hour, and he's kind of entrenched with walls. He has done a couple of good raids on me. We are able to bust through this wall, and we're going to hit him now with 15 Mangadai, a couple knights. At the same time, he starts raiding our front base here. I don't know if this was a mistake, just a batch of knights that got sent in on accident, or if it's an intentional raid. We do garrison all of our villagers here, and we bring in these knights to deal with this. I think you just send in these men-at-arms to fight the... my food is centralized, so it's kind of a... You can just send some units there and know that it's getting, raided. So we kill a ton of villagers here. We have 81 eco. He's got 64. And dropping. Yeah. So, good job in kind of doing some damage to his eco, getting him down to 60-ish. And, yeah. But we were able to age up to age 4 now. We still have this gold, this front gold, this back gold, and this gold up here, so I didn't feel a need to start with my trade network. I started pushing up. I noticed he's got a keep. He's got a decent army here of men-at-arms. I see a tower coming up. He just felt super entrenched, and since he had these stone walls on this other side, which it doesn't show that I can see, it didn't feel like I was going to get a lot done by pushing that side. And we're starting to chew up through this gold. And yeah, still producing villages. We're getting our upgrades to elite units now. Upgraded biology as well for biology. Starting to drop Siege workshops. And don't have a lot of infrastructure in terms of military. We've got 2 ranges. and 3 stables, and we have 4 siege workshops now. So we actually have more siege workshops than anything. And he actually has quite a bit of barracks. I think he 100% has more military production. If he had been pushing me like he was before and maintaining production behind it, I don't know if I'd be able to. I've been able to keep up with him because I don't have the military infrastructure, or at least I didn't. Um, Tithe Barn's coming in. It's gonna be a long match, so Tithe Barn's coming in at the half-hour mark. Still another hour of game, so that's 60 times 200. So that's like 18,000 gold we're gonna get. Um, 60 times 30. Let's see, 1800 food, 1800 stone, 1800 wood for whatever the cost was. So yeah, it does pay for itself, but it's not. It's not a huge amount. It's a really slow tick. I mean, it's worth overall, but barely. So he caps the sacred site. He drops the stone wall. And at this point, I also had realized that he had wall down there with a wood wall. And we come up here and we're gonna burn down this gate. The gate is usually the best way to burn down. And wall is 1500. Palace the gate is 1500, but this will open up 3 holes basically versus just one. Um, his cav units come in here. They're not gonna do much. They're gonna bump into this tower. And honestly, if he had completed this stone wall, maybe even deleted this, put stone walls here, and then deleted this and stonewalled this, um, and then focused all of his army up here to stonewall this, it would have been a lot harder match for me to win. Um, yeah, we're only a third of the way through this, so I'm at 99 eco. He's at 77. I do have a market up. I am going to start trading. Getting a second market going, and we're going to start doing our stone commerce probably shortly. Upgraded geometry. We get all the upgraded siege. Um, Upgrades. We're coming up here to raid, and kind of unfortunate. We send him here. If we had sent him directly all the way up and across, it would have been a lot better because we would have gotten. We would have been able to stop this stone wall. So kind of unfortunate. I realized a little bit too late. Doing another microwing. Bring the Mangadite back and around. And by the time, yeah, I realized this, there's only one little gap left in that wall. And I don't think we're gonna get there in time. Yeah, literally right when we got there. And we tried to burn this down. And yeah, we're not able to. So that's definitely one thing that clicking them to here instead of to here, just that whatever quarter-inch difference of clicking height and clicking it right on the gold instead of before the gold on this hill made a huge change in terms of stopping this wall. If we had able to stop this wall and shut down this trade aggressively, he would have had to commit to that a little bit more in terms of stopping it for his gold income. His gold income is, he's got the 2 sacred sites and he's got the relics, so he's getting good income from that. But without trade, he wouldn't be able to truly maintain any gold army. We'll kind of start burning down these towers here, or these walls. I mean, and at this point, it's just gonna go into a slugfest. We got a lot of a lot of food. We're building. We got one treasure chest, three spring holds to kind of deal with any uh, anti siege. With manganum behind this, oh, we got four spring holds. I did see him make a spring hold early before I had siege, so I started thinking he's gonna dedicate some more units to siege. And we do get the adjustable crossbars. It's not fully upgraded, and our knights are about to get upgraded as well. And yeah, he kind of pushes out. You see the springolds, but his army pulls back, so we don't come into the fight. And we'll take the turn, and we're just gonna start sieging down that castle. Starts repairing, it's just gonna start eating up that his stone that he's got banked, which he doesn't have a lot banked. He's got 26 stone right now, and there's not more stone on the map really for him to mine. There's this one upper stone. So again, just kind of like this stone or wood wall that he did was good and all, but if he had deleted this, closed this stone wall off, deleted this, closed this stone here and here, he secures 1,200 more gold or wood, and it's a little bit different of a game. So he's kind of stone starved right now, for sure. He's got 600 here in his base, and that's gonna run out. Siege wise, now we got 3 mangonels. We saw his army was super archer heavy. He's got a lot of men at arms, 29, but he's got 8 men, which are gonna be weak. He's got 1 scholar, 2 crossbowmen, 4 archers. So it must have been the spearmen that I thought were archers. They look pretty fishy army that we're gonna be able to deal with mangonels mostly. But he's bringing more spears. More mangonels, got handgunners. So we got a pretty nice army here. Pretty beefy. Tower War Elephants. We bring up this cav force that went on the other side. Now that there's a stone wall there, there's no real reason for us to be over there to try to push. There is this sneaky back pass, but this wood has to get chopped out. So, more knights coming. We want more of a solid mass to deal with his man-at-arm and his front line. But we do have 4 springlords of Treb, just kind of slowly chunking away, draining up his stone that he's repairing with, and 3 mangonels that are really going to carry any fight against this. They're going to do a lot of damage. Adjustable crossbars improved, so our mango's going to shoot faster. And yeah, our trade is also started. We're getting a good amount of resources on it. Dropping this uvu, so we're going to start getting improved trade. And we've only got 5 traders going right now. We're still getting a lot of resources from our stat readout, and we want to use that to its full potential still. And we do have cannon towers over here, which is going to be kind of nice. And it does come out pretty handy later on because it does a lot of work in slowing down a tower, a war elephant push. So we got a decent army here, and we've only got 1 treb. It's just a slow siege. I couldn't really myself affording to, I wasn't sure what his army comp was, so I was afraid of seeing a lot of springs. So he starts pushing us here. And yeah, he just kind of thinks about pushing, but he can't really. Elephants are going to kind of hit by the springolds. Our springolds are just poking now. We are able to snipe 1 spring. Getting 4 Springolds back. And this siege is doing good damage, and it's eating up his stone a lot. That's the big thing. You can see he used to have 1,000 stone. Now he's got 800, and he just finished mining out this stone as well. He's gonna build a siege workshop and a lumber and a couple more siege workshops. He's got a nice little kingdom going on. Out in front of everyone else. We try to deal with his army that's kind of pushing us here. Springolds do need a snipe. This Springold. We lose a Springold. Again, this is kind of mismicro on my part. We're going to lose another Springold. But the Mangonels are able to do a lot of work here. And he's going to be able to take... Yeah, so he takes out our trap was the big thing, actually. So we finally micro down that Springold. So that's kind of a mistake on our part. But the big thing is we have these Mangonels that aren't actually being aggressive enough as they should be. He's got a Mangonel coming up now. These ranged units, he's got a big mass of archers and handgunners. They just get creamed by Mangonels. And that Mangonel that he's brought up is going to get sniped by our Spring. And he's going to have a hard problem pushing these Mangonels with those ranged units. We do have another Treb here. And we're going to start Trebbing this down. And at this point, since he had a pretty weakened army, I thought it was going to be worth it to sneak by and do some raid. Our eco's sitting at 105 units. His eco's at 91. So we wanted to get a raid. Let's see what we could see if he's trading, and just kill some villagers here. He's going to push us here. Our Mangonels are going to deal with these gunners. Fortunately, they're focus firing on this elephant. But we're able to take out that elephant relatively fast enough that now we're dealing with these ranged forces. We did a pretty good amount of damage in terms of eco, I think, too. Yeah, his eco's at 70, so we could have about 20 eco units. She's going to slow us down his eco again. It was a combination of traders and villagers. And we focused on this Springold. We're almost focused on. Survives with 5 life. Because we were out of Springolds at this point. We have a couple of towers. They're not getting upgraded. This one finally is. We don't have much of a front line here anymore. And food-wise, we're doing really good in the food department. We have 15,000 stored up, which is nice. But it's impressive how here in 30 minutes of producing constant military units that it gets chewed through. So here we just kind of have to skirmish and fall back. He's bringing up the Springolds. If I lose this core of Mangonels, I'm not going to be able to deal. So we're double producing Springolds now out of this workshop. Again, it's really nice to be able to do that for production. He has about a Treb and he takes down this tower that was going to get a cannon upgrade on it. This cannon tower is going to finish. And it's going to do a little bit of damage, but it is going to get Treb down pretty quick. So it kills 2 units there. And yeah, it's killed 3 units, so 5 units, 5 units, yeah. So it ended up killing 5 units, so it's not the... Didn't get no return on investment, but I got some at least. Our gold at this point was suffering pretty bad. We had transitioned our step readout over, and that's part of it. So step readout's getting going again, and now our traders are up to 10. Khan is going. We got a small force of Mangadai. A couple of Springolds, and there's a couple more. So with his chorus 4 Springolds is pretty good. We're also getting siege work, so we're getting increased ranged armor and 20% more health, which is going to help a bunch. And we got a decent nav mass here formed up again. Um, sheep production is at 21, and you can tell that we've only got 4 living sheep at this point. Everything else is carcass, so not a super healthy number of sheep. We could probably do another 4 or 5 pastures here at least. I'm not entirely sure what I was doing here with this phone. Oh, I know what I did. I sniped his mangonels and his springald, and then I was pushing forward to keep the pressure off of my siege army and have them focus on my on my melee army. At this point, he's all ranged here, and yeah, you can tell the amount of damage that the mangonels do against range. So this core of 3 mangonels is really big that we've been able to save, and we're just letting our springles. He's not treading anything down vital, and before he fully escapes with his trap, we are gonna get it. With his knights, and we've retaken this kind of front position here, and he is trading 173. I wonder if we can see how many traders he has going. He's got 17 traders going, and we've got 11. So he's got us kind of beaten in the traders numbers. We do decide to capture the sacred site. We've got a few towers here. We're gonna build more. It's kind of a win condition for him just to capture this for free. Be pretty devastating for us. We have gone up to 5 mangonels and 5 springolds. I was worried that he was going to start making a lot more anti-siege. Get 3 mangonels and a bombard. I don't know if the mangonels are the best choice. I don't really have a cav army. I've got a few mangadai and that's it. Um, so I think springolds and just handgunners would probably be his best option for him. And honestly, probably a little easier to micro. We do build 3 bombards, 1 double produced, just to kind of chunk down these keeps as quick as possible. The trebs are efficient in a sense that they keep you at a range, but they're really slow as well. Um, that being said, if I'd gone 3 trebs, it probably would have been a more successful push. We have a decent force of cav here, but we only have room for 10 pop cap, and it's all coming in knights. We need more mass here in the front line. So this army copper's siege is decent. We got a bunch of siege, so we're gonna start working away here, and you can see his army comp. Couple of springolds, 3 mangoes, 1 bombard. So again, he's gonna try to push me. I'm sure once I start pushing forward to siege, and we're getting cannon towers going. Wood villagers are starting to clean up this wood line to the south. We're getting a lot of stone right now. We have our improved trading, so these guys are bringing back 193 gold and 35 stone. So trade wise, it's not really comparable compared to what his trade can do. And so you can see the mangonels, the amount of damage that they bust out on these units here. We have enough of a line here to deal with his units. His trebs that were his springolds that he had, we snipe out with our springolds, and we take out his bombards and take out his mangonels. It is kind of unfortunate. We do lose a bunch of springolds here. We lose 2 of them. 2 those man at arms are able to slip through, but the big thing was, of course, the front line that was able to hold here with the knights. I don't think we have our improved. Yeah, we don't have improved biology, which is an extra 10% health. So, they're getting plus 54. So probably like plus 60-ish in terms of overall health, which is big. It helps a lot. On the side here, not much going, just trade. He's got a siege workshop back here, so that's kind of I think a mistake on his part. So some of his army that's coming out of here is taking a really long time to route around. Get there, he's starting to chop up this gold that's over here. And these towers are shooting at this, giving constant attack pings, which are kind of annoying but good. And it kind of sucks. We get under our noses, he builds a keep right here. Basically, we just need to put a couple towers over here. So, kind of my bad on that. This shaman is taking pop space. Probably can kill him. And yeah, we start sieging him again. This time with the bombards, it's gonna siege down a lot faster. The only bad thing is they kind of need direct line of sight, and they're 10 tower range. And the keep has 8 tower range, 10 tower range. Their cannon also has 10 tower range. Okay, so the plus is the amount of damage that comes out of these bombards. So we tried getting some damage in. Now he's got a huge springald mass, and it's gonna wreck our. It's gonna wreck our force here, our siege force. And we trade decent. We take out a few of them. Bombards I probably should have been microing to one shot these, but we start to lose our mangonels, which is pretty big. But our front line is able to kill his, which is really big, which means we can push. Yeah, it kind of sucks that these mangonel aren't able to push up a little bit more. We are starting to take down this keep. Again, this is definitely something we should have been focusing down these springolds. So a little bit of miss micro on my part and not dealing with these springolds in time. Now we're gonna lose our bombard to that, which is unfortunate. We have more mangonels and we have more springolds, but now we don't have to truly deal with his keep. But we're also getting to the point now where we have 1500 stone and he's only got 250. He pushes our step readout during this, kills all of my villagers, and he starts taking out towers. The plus side, we have a villager here, and these cannon towers that do a pretty good job. And yeah, I kind of avoided not dropping more towers here, unfortunately. So we're just kind of rallying too many troops forward here, getting picked off, and he's got a big springald mass. But we outrange his springs with our springs, so we're able to kind of snipe his springs kind of in peace. He's kind of dealing with our cav with his springs. And he's going to push those springolds up, and we're going to have to pull back our siege. And yeah, now we have 4 trebs. We wanted to kind of one-shot these. No, it's not one-shot, but get a lot closer to dropping these. Here, I definitely need to push up with my with these lancers to take out these springolds. And we're able to take out 3 of them, I think. Yeah. And we start diving with some horsemen. Horsemen absolutely wrecked the elephants, but the trebs come up, they lose their life, but we're able to drop this keep. And he's not going to be able to replace this keep throughout the match, basically. I'm sure he's got the upgrade for his relics. He also has all of these garrisoned. I guess he's still getting upgrades. That's why he has garrisoned scholars, I'm assuming. Now that our main military force is dead and we've ran out of basically gold, because we had a nice gold influx coming in through here. It was running out, so we would have had to transition anyways. We're producing a lot more traders now, and we're up to 20. And he's got to 26, so he's definitely got a better trade in terms of numbers going, but we're getting a lot more resources than him. Overall, we're getting 20% more gold, and we're getting 10% of the other resources. So that kind of is cumulative, especially in terms of the stone. So he's got a nice Springald mass, and then here again, we drop some towers, drop some more eco or infrastructure up front to kind of deal with this pressure. Definitely could have dropped an Ubu here. Yeah. Start sucking up that stone, and would have helped for a little bit forward production. We also hadn't gotten Shia bow limbs yet, so improved. So that would have been really helpful to have. A little bit of extra damage, and he's just going mass scholar trying to out heal through this. But he's having a hard time pushing me. And me through him, it's kind of a choke point battle. But I'm also only using Cav. Mangadai are definitely not the best in this situation. They're okay. The big plus about them is that every now and then I can slip them through in advantageous moments. I don't know. It's kind of funky sometimes the routing around the sacred side, so units will go kind of crazy. But here we just kind of have to pull back. But now we've got our own Springald Mass army. We got 5 of them. So Mangadai just kind of chunking away at his units here. And yeah, the Springald just kind of taking shots at these guys, doing some damage, and the horsemen are going to run by and kind of flank around. Kind of in a bad spot here. We're really low on our gold. It was kind of the big issue here. We were having issues maintaining it. He still hasn't dropped anything to the north. Now we're a full hour in. He's starting to get actually a pretty good foothold here. He's starting to push our side bases here. We have 1 cannon tower. We finally get the couple of mangonels out, which is really big. We do have to hold kind of in front of these mangonels. If he gets to these mangonels, again, that's become they are big area of effect damage, do a ton of damage. And we do have to pull these back because there's an elephant pushing them. Mangadai are still getting cranked out. This war elephant is doing a lot of damage. But we're able to kind of pull them back into our zone of our TC where we got some ballista Springald towers and cannon towers. Yeah, he doesn't have really any siege. He's got 1 Springald coming up, which we do see. He's able to snipe 1 mangonel. But now his Springald is kind of auto-firing. We bring up our spring. We're going to snipe his Springald out real quick. And we do see the mangonels coming up. We have another mangonel coming up. And we're just making a ton of horsemen now. Because we were kind of... we were a little bit gold-starved at the time. He is starting to take out this infrastructure. He's still got 2 towers with this war elephant. So we come over with a Mangadai to start kind of chewing up this guy, this war elephant here. And mangonels are doing a ton of damage on those crossbows. This is where they truly shine. Now that our knights and horsemen are going to push in, we snipe out these. This siege, which is going to. It's a huge investment that he loses every time he loses a siege. Me as well, you know. We finally get enough of Mangadai mass here, going for long enough that we finally do able to kill these couple of war elephants. A couple of mangonel are also focused on it. He still hasn't built this up here. We've built more towers and we're collecting wood over here. We did finish mining out that gold. Oh, I think that's part of the reason my gold income was because they were mining here and they were carrying it all the way back to the base. We knew never really do rebuild this that readout. It's not really worth it in terms of wood cost and time to do it. But you know, his push that pushed out these 4 towers, this couple of towers. We finally do stop it, and we got a nice massive manga die again. We got 30. And the big thing is he's only got 300 stone, and he's got this stone right up here up front. And sure, he might not have been able to mine it. He would have had to lose a lot of villagers. But again, a little bit better walling here. And he secures this a lot better. And he gets that stone. Over here, not much happening. Lumber camp. He still has a gold vein back here for 4,000. I guess he wasn't really pressed for gold though. He's more pressed on for wood. And he's starting to chop up here for more wood. We're at 124 eco. He's at 90. So yeah, his eco is kind of suffering compared to ours right now, and you could tell. We've kind of stabilized now again with our gold trading. We're up to 32 traders, which is big. Khan is back up, pumping out 2 mangonels and 2 trebs. I guess we stopped making trebs? Yeah, I guess we stopped making trebs, which I think might have been a mistake because we needed siege. We were needing siege to push through, really. So, contemplating a run through. I can see he's got a pretty decent army here. And I just say go for it. So we had like 30 manga die. And just running through past this keep. Down to 25. We've killed 2 knights. So by the time we get back to where there's no defenses, there's still cannon towers. And we're down to 20. And yeah, we're just trying to hit some of his villages here. And we're able to kill quite a few, as you can see. And then the big thing is we hadn't realized it yet, but it was to sit up here on this trade line. But regardless, his eco is down to 80. And behind that, we saw that he had put a bunch of force. So we just get a quick raid, get some resources, and fall back. Try to pull his men into this choke here, which they do. So mangonels were getting kind of funky with their micro. They didn't want to come up and around here. They wanted to like get stuck on the trees. And one elephant was trying to push us there. Pull back these mangonel because I was a little worried about the positioning, and it kept kind of glitching out up there. So I bring them around to this side, clean up this side here, and we do take these knights as a distraction. Do try to house him a little bit. I don't think we're gonna do it pretty easily, but his resources are starting to dwindle down here. You can see his food is suffering pretty bad. He still has a ton of gold. We have plenty of mangonels, which is big, and we do have three spingles, which definitely helps to hold. Springles are just getting shots off here and there, and this is a big archer army. That is a big archer army, but it's definitely don't know if it's worth when you're fighting against 6 mangonels. So we just pull back our knights here a little bit, pull back our archers. We just gotta be kind of careful with our knights, not to get them too overly committed. We're just kind of letting our mangonels kind of slow push up. And you can see why. Once they get those shots off, they do a ton of damage to those archers. we were just kind of wanting him to kind of misstep and come up too much. We do have 2 traps in production. This is a nice siege match. I felt like where I was in terms of siege is where I wanted to be. But I did need to start losing some villagers. We were definitely a little bit heavy on the villager count. We got 26 knights in production. Let's check out income per minute. I got more income per minute for food, more gold, a lot more stone. He has been able to get up to 800 stone. He's either traded it or his relics have gone him that much stone. And well, I think we've taken down one castle. We're all trying to push forward. Once again, he cracked out a bunch of springolds. So he takes out 3 of our mangonels. We gotta fall back our siege force. And yeah, we got a solid mass of knights. Oh yeah, this is where I put my Mangadai down. I did have to start investing a lot of resources down here into cannon towers. Because he was pushing us was nice. So the knights pushed all the way down through here. They killed these couple of towers. There's 8 towers they punched through. Gave me time to produce a bunch of cannon towers, and a bunch more are coming up. Here on the front, we were kind of holding again. Springolds are kind of getting shots off. On his Springolds, he is picking off all of our mangonels, unfortunately. And yeah, this is going to be another Springold back push by him that's going to do a good job. But he's going to sacrifice all of his Springolds to kill my 3 Springolds, and one of them still survives. He does kill my mangonels as well. I guess part of the point of Springolds is to eliminate all the siege, which he does. We got a decent enough force of knights here, and his army is starting to get to a trickle-in point, so it can do some damage. And we also have these 2 trebs. Trebs are going to start doing a lot of work, and we see that he's got a trickle-in force of army, so we're just going to push forward with these Mangadai. And this is where you're going to see a really good amount of eco damage. His eco is back down to 84, just with that slight run through of a couple of farms. And the big thing is we're going to head up to his trade line now, where he is trading 26 traders still. And yeah, this is where Zika is going to start dropping off again. So he's got a horseman coming in. I mean, he's got plenty of gold, so it's not end of the world. I thought he was a lot more gold starved than he was, but it makes sense that he wasn't. He's got 2 sacred sites, 3 relics. And we're able to treb down 1 tower, and we got 2 more trebs here. So we got 3 trebs in total and 4 mangonels, 1 springold. This is probably a better military comp. Even just 2 springolds is probably good. Take out his 1 springold. This is an unfavorable fight for us, but we are getting a little bit of support from the mangonels. And the big thing really is here that the trebs are just going off now. The 3 trebs. So once we take down this keep, that's stone that he can't afford to repair or drop. Or I mean, he can drop a new keep, but it's gonna be pricey for him. So unfortunately, we lose 1 treb, which does hurt our pushing power quite a bit. He loses a ton of hand cannoneers there. So, and then we're not producing enough knights anymore. We've ran out of food now, basically. So our income per minute is at 2,700, highest than it's ever been, but our food gets chewed up real quick. And then here, you can tell we only have, again, for like 4 sheeps going at a time. So we're near 60 food villagers. We've got 26 pastures, and it looks like we need a couple more. Because we're starting to get idle time on our villagers here. You can see that there's a couple standing around. So we definitely need more pasture production going. We're at zero sheep right now. But the big thing is, once you drop that castle, that take a lot of the front presence he has. Um, he does go for a move down here soon. We are gonna uncap the sacred site now, and he's pushing up, and he's got a ton of springolds again. 6 more springolds. So he snipes up our mangonels. We're able to kind of retreat back out of it. Bring our springs to taking some shots. He notices. So we're just gonna fall back. We got a decent amount of mangonel here. He's pushing forward with bombards to take out these towers. These towers weren't actually doing anything, so not end the world. We do have a decent amount of villagers here to deal with that. And we're taking pot shots again at his springolds. He's also springold sniping at us. He takes out our springs. And we're able to get a couple shots off with our mangonel, but we have to fall back. We're getting outranged by the springolds, so we're just going to have to fall back. We do have a nice line of 4 cannon towers to fall back onto here. And we can harass with our group of Mangadite here pretty handily. He pushes forward with these bombards. And we're just kind of slow burning down. I feel like these villagers come up to burn down these bombards. Yeah. Over here, we finally got enough knights out to run down these springolds. His army's kind of abandoning his springolds. Cannon tower line doing work here and killing these elephants, as well as doing a lot of damage to these. And we're up to 4 springolds again and dropping more mangonels. At this point, we are trying to double produce our siege. And we built this tower here. We definitely should build some towers just straight across the sacred site. So, kind of a mistake doing it like that. We built these forward ones. I don't think we ever put cannon towers inside of them. Our army's kind of rebuilding right now. Knights are coming up. 4 mangonels. So our siege is sitting in a pretty good spot. 26 mangadite in production as well. We are up to 12 ranges. 13 ranges. And we are up to 15 stables. So we have really good infrastructure at this point. We can pump out units really fast. And pick off those couple elephants real quick. They get melted. And we do have a little bit of a tower creep here going. And we have a lot of siege that can kind of kill anything that comes into this choke point. And he does bring in a bunch of siege of his own, which is a little bit worrying. We're getting these towers up, but as you can see, no upgrades coming in. An upgrade here would have been huge. Springolds sniping out of his springs. Cavalry coming in, diving in. Getting a lot of kills. Mangonels are finally coming up, a little bit late on that. We're definitely taking an unfavorable trade without our mangonels here. Big thing is that during this, our springolds were able to micro some of his guys. A little bit of a raid again. Mangadite through a field of cannons. Do a little bit of eco damage, but hardly enough. His eco's at 91. Our eco's at 126. So we're maintaining this this villager production, or this villager lead. Six mangonels, 4 springolds, and 2 traps. So now we got our army built up again and ready to really push and finish it here. Here's coming this keep drop. Um, we have one cannon tower here to protect the sacred site. So I mean, the sacred site was technically protected, but unfortunate that these guys weren't building their more towers. I lost a big opportunity there in terms of shutting down this play and this aggression. So yeah, we're pushing up through here. And it's just kind of slow and steady at this point. It's just it's grueling. We've gained foot ground. We've gained up to the sacred site basically in distance, but he's cranking out units and it's hard to get anything going. Once he starts attacking us here, we start dropping here, and we're getting 3 cannon towers immediately. So these will be done in 40 seconds, and then we'll be able to get kind of an advantage on his towers if he does put cannon towers on them. So I'm actually having problems pushing against these 4 mangonels in this choke point, but on the other side, we're killing some mosques. He's still researching stuff. Counter architects and siege works. So, and it's done in another 18 minutes still. That's crazy. So, not having that a couple more madrasas back here and spreading out that research is kind of reduce the capabilities. Armors a little bit of a misclick here. I accidentally put these springolds with my knights and sent them up. Lose 3 springolds for basically nothing. He's walled this side off. Obviously, he's trying to do something here. The issue being that he's trying to capture the sacred site, but there's basically 3 cannon towers on it, soon to be like 6. And we're kind of holding here. The big issue is we lost our springolds. I don't think... Okay, here we go. We got 4 springolds, 2 pairs coming up. We do have to pull back our siege here. We try to get a quick pot shot in. And it's not working, so we just gotta keep following him back. We do have this nice cannon tower line here. That's 6 cannon towers to defend us. And yeah, scholars get wrecked by mangonels. So either way, even if he had kept this site at this point in the game, we had already secured it. And 2 more cannon towers coming in here. We'll probably lose this one, but the other ones are out of range from the castle and will protect the sacred site, make it a pain to push. We don't have our upgraded Ubus stuff. Which isn't the end of the world. We kind of take a little bit different route here. Just now that the cannon towers are gone too, we're taking a lot of less damage. And we knew that kind of up here was a little bit cleaner area. And now his eco is down to 70, and this is where it's gonna take a really big hit because we shut down his gold. With the relics and stuff, we're giving him a lot of gold, and gold hasn't been an issue for him. But now that he loses a bunch of traders, he loses like 10 traders, and his eco's down to 60. That's gonna start hurting. Our eco's still chilling at 120. We got full siege here. He's got pretty much all archers here. Yeah, this is an all archer army. So it's gonna get absolutely melted. Trying to drop some stables up here up front. And yeah, this is all siege. And he's bringing his forces up here. But you can tell it's we got knights coming, but it's a trek to get up to this front line now. So the pushes are gonna be a little bit more mediated, a little bit careful, but the big thing is now we're starting to get raid income, and at this point too, where is our Ubu now? It's up here. Yeah, we're getting all of our upgrades too for the Ubu, which is nice. We still have 1 more Ubu here, and we can make 1 more here. We're starting to get upgraded income with our raids, which is helping a lot. And then we haven't pop capped him yet, but he's got a lot of houses right here. That's top 60, 70 top that we'll be losing quite shortly. We lose a couple spring It's not end of the world. Um, the big thing is the mangonel presence. Um, Mangonels also need to be attack moving up, and they weren't. So they were our knights here are getting shredded, and there's choke points in between the houses. Springles are helping out a little bit, but definitely a little bit of a miss micro on my part. Um, he's bringing bombards up again to kind of take out these towers. And he's doing a good job of it. The only issue is if he did come up harder, I did have a bunch of villagers here to commit. And he also has lost this mid sacred sites point, so it wasn't the end of the world for him to transition and take this now. We're kind of in a war of attrition over here. The siege is slowly pushing up, and that's kind of where the big thing is. His siege, or our siege, is doing a lot of damage at this point. And eco-wise, he's up to 70, and he's just kind of stabilizing his economy again. But now you can tell that his gold is starting to suffer a little bit. Up here, we did drop a tower. We're going to drop a couple more. They're going to get cannon upgrades, and we're going to shoot through this, and then I can just drop a tower on here and completely shut down his trade income. We send a small cavalry force of knights up here. They're going to fight these horsemen pretty favorably. And it takes out a lot of pressure off of me, off of his front. And we're starting to burn down his these ranges and stuff back here. So, yeah, really long fight. Really grueling. We're at 1:20 now. And we do capture the mid sacred site again. So now we've got 2 sacred sites. These towers are all cannon towers pretty much. Just in case he pushed us again. The long distance mining going on there. Villagers are finishing up down here. I think they came up and burned those bombards, or might have brought them around home. I'm not sure. So yeah, we're not even worried about his armor too much here. He sends in some horsemen and some lancers, but we do have enough lancers to kind of fight here. We're gonna lose our trebs at this point since there isn't any castles. We're not too worried about losing the trebs. Our knights can do pretty much all the burning that we need to do. Boiling oil castles is really the only thing that really stops knights. And yeah, at that point it was GG. So really good game against Feisbro. Really long, really hard to push his front here. He did a really good job of holding, and yeah, it was a grueling match, that's for sure. So yeah, I think we'll do the fourth and the fifth match separately because that was a long one. But thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next one.